But it looks like Sheriff Gordon Ramsay is ready. But first, here's the update. And this is from the U.S. Forest Service as of this morning. They say that there's going to be a lot of air resources being used today to fight these fires, to continue the containment efforts. Strong southwest winds is what they're dealing with today, and possible thunderstorms later this afternoon. But until then, with the winds, they worry about drying conditions, hoping that rain can help then balance that out. But again, elevated fire and weather conditions today and into the weekend. I think we got the map here. Do you want to go right to the sheriff? All right. Let's get right to Sheriff Gordon Ramsay because he is ready and we don't want to take any more time from him than we have to. Sheriff, thank you again. You keep making time for us on this show, and we certainly appreciate that considering the scope of what's going on there.
Yeah, we just appreciate your coverage, and we want to get back open and get people back up here.
Yeah, where are you located right now?
Right now I'm just in Mountain Iron, which is about 35 miles southwest of Ely.
Okay. Looking at the the update, and the Forest Service has been excellent every morning, putting out, for folks who want to go to their Facebook page, for example, every morning putting out about a 4 to 5 minute video, kind of going through everything. And it sounds like from them, obviously there's still a lot of concerns, but it sounds like some pretty significant progress being made on both containment and structure preparation in terms of fire breaks, et cetera. I mean, give us your perspective on that.
One of the most positive things today is there's now over 1,000 firefighters that are working on these fires. So that's substantial. That's up a couple hundred over a couple days ago. So that is helping contain these fires, and it's good news. And plus, right now I'm looking outside and we're getting some drizzle. So things are heading in the right direction.
What are the concerns then, though? I mean, the drizzle obviously is helpful. I mean, it's not enough to put out fires, but if it keeps things wet, it kind of can help slow the spread. But are there concerns here about drier weather and winds that may be drying out some of those fuels again?
Potentially. That has been brought up by the Weather Service and the Forest Service. The interesting thing is this week we've had a number of days, though, where fires could have really expanded. The winds were going in the direction to help flame them. It warmed up, but we didn't see the explosive growth that maybe could have happened. So that is a good sign that we didn't have any of these fires really pop off. Now, there has been a little more smoke and heat in the last 24 hours, but overall, it's not nearly as bad as it was looking 5 or 6 days ago.
Well, that's great news then. In terms of structures, property being threatened here, again, their updates really focus on a lot of that preparation to build those breaks, to get water lines put down, to protect whether it's lodge property or personal, cabin property. Is there anything you can update us about the threat to any structures?
I have been up on the Echo Trail, and they have spent an extensive amount of time and resources putting lines around a lot of these old historic lodges, and even hunting shacks. They have put extensive watering systems around them. So the amount of effort the Forest Service has gone to, I would say, is significant. And people should rest assured that if you have property up here, the Forest Service, the firefighters are working extremely hard to make sure those are going to be kept safe as we move forward.
Do you have any idea how many structures may have been impacted, damaged, or lost from this?
At this point, it's hard to tell. I do know the Forest Service has lost some buildings up in the boundary waters, but other than that, that part of the effort hasn't started yet.
Okay. And then what do you tell people? I mean, obviously a big message coming out from, folks whose livelihoods depend on tourism and visitors. And we've heard a lot of people saying, around the Ely area and some other areas, I mean, the fires are not close to those areas. They're still open for business. What message do you want to get out?
Well, I can tell you this. One is the partial reopening of the boundary waters, I think, is a good thing. There are concerns. You balance business concerns and safety concerns. And we rely on the fire experts to tell us how things are looking. And right now, with today's weather and the way things have been the last few days, I think it's safe to say that unless things drastically change, we're definitely going in the right direction. Businesses are hurting. Talking with a lot of these business owners, you can see it in their eyes that they're concerned. You know that the future is uncertain for them. And when things do get back to normal, I hope people come up and visit them and patronize their businesses.
Yeah, you make a very good point, though. I mean, balancing out the impacts on businesses, but your concerns about protecting public safety at the same time. So that's always a delicate balance that you've got to strike.
Absolutely, because the last thing we want is this. Overwhelmingly, I think this fire, given the conditions and the way things were, everything's gone the right way. The last thing we want is to have innocent people put in danger or hurt or even killed because these fires suddenly gain steam and get out of control again.
And then lastly, in terms of the boundary waters reopening, I know that there's going to be reopening now for some day passes at certain entry points. Do you have a clear picture of where those points are, where those day trips will be allowed?
Yeah, it's nothing in St. Louis County. It's further east out of Cook County and the Gunflint Trail. So further east, up the North Shore, up the Gunflint Trail is where they are first looking at opening that up.
Yeah, which is certainly going to be helpful. And then I know still looking at potentially overnight passes, maybe opening up mid next week, but that is still a potential date at this point, is what I understand.
Correct. Really at the whim of Mother Nature, and what's thrown at the forest over the next few days will definitely have a big impact on that decision.
All right. Sheriff Gordon Ramsay with St. Louis County. Again, appreciate the time during a busy stretch of work here for you. And again, we have an update coming from the Forest Service and others in about an hour. So, Sheriff, again, much thanks.